Hello friends, welcome back to my channel, or if you're new here, welcome. My name is Kate and I love all things makeup, beauty, skincare, and fun. Today we are going to be doing a full face of best-selling makeup at Sephora. So if you are interested in this type of content where we go online and we see what's going on at Sephora, what are the best sellers, and then we do a full face, then I would love it if you would give this video a thumbs up, consider subscribing to my channel, and without any further ado, let's go. Okay, so as I mentioned in the intro, today we're going to be doing a full face of best-selling makeup at Sephora. Now, that might not be the top one bestseller because I don't have, of course, all of those types of products, but it'll be within the top like 10. Now, there's a couple of categories that I do not have anything from. One is brows, so you won't see me, of course, using anything from the brow category, and additionally, eye primer. I didn't have a single primer or eye primer specifically that Sephora carries. I literally only use my P. Louise and my Glamlight eye primers, so I've already primed my eyes. So in terms of eyeshadow, we're gonna go on and we'll see what some of the top eyeshadow palettes are. This part was interesting and has been interesting because a lot of my favorite palettes are from indie brands, so I was a little nervous, honestly, that I wasn't going to have any of the best selling. So I go ahead and I just like type in what it is I'm looking for, and then when it gives you the option for sort, it automatically defaults to relevance, but in this instance I clicked best selling. So what is so funny to me is that the Soft Glam by Anastasia Beverly Hills is still in the top. What is also interesting to me is that I did a little bit of like homework on this to make sure that I had the products to be able to do this video, and the results on my phone are a little different than my iPad. So that is a little interesting. That being said, I'm not signed in to my Sephora account on my iPad. I'm only signed in on my phone, so I don't know if that is kind of messing with it, but regardless, Soft Glam is showing on my iPad to be the top one. On my phone, I think it was number 3. And then we have, of course, one by Makeup by Mario, the Natasha Denona I Need a Nude, which is interesting because that one's newer. But then Soft Glam is so old. So it's interesting that it's still a best-selling palette, especially when I feel like maybe my views are a little skewed because I do watch a lot of beauty YouTube, so I wasn't really expecting that. But I do have that palette. She is an oldie but a goodie. You can see that I have loved this palette for many years. This is very expired, but nonetheless, we're gonna go ahead and create a quick eye look using this palette. To start us off, we're going to start with the shade right here called Orange Soda. And we're gonna see. I don't know, honestly, the last time that I played with this palette. So we will see how she performs. Next, in the crease a little bit more, we're going to go in with the shade right here called Burnt Orange. Let me know down below if you have this palette. And also let me know, when is the last time you played with this? This absolute relic. Trying to think of what I want to do here. I think what I'll do is go in a little bit with this shade called Sienna on the inner and outer part of my lid. I think, gosh, I'm kind of torn on the color to do in the center. I think we'll go with Sultry right here. We'll start there. So I like what's going on here. However, the eyes are getting a little lost in the sauce here, so I'm just gonna go over the center with bronze a little bit. See if that like does anything. Yeah, a little bit. So for primer, there are two different ones that I have. It was kind of interesting to see like what was the 411, what was the hot goss, what are the girlies looking for? Primer. Without any sort of shock whatsoever, the Milk Hydro Grip is like hot in the number one spot. What kind of surprised me though was that Rare Beauty is also high up here. Bobbi Brown, Smashbox. I'm like, who is buying? Like, speaking of 2016, who is buying this still? But I digress. Also on here is the Milk Makeup Pore Eclipse Blurring Makeup Primer with Niacinamide. The Airbrush Primer by Hourglass also on here. I actually don't think I have that one anymore. The Refy, the Poreblum, No Poreblum by Benefit, like just such interesting takes. And then a little bit lower on the list is the Glow Recipe Strawberry BHA. So it's just kind of funny to like see some of these things that are like still best selling, like Smashbox. I'm like, who is using this? And I think it just kind of, not kind of, it definitely speaks to, I'm just going to go in with my Milk Pore Clips Primer. Ironically, I have the mini one, which is on the best selling, but I also have the full size, but I'm going to use the mini up first. Before I do that though, I am actually going to go in with these. I was originally going to go just in with these because on my phone, I didn't see this one on there. In terms of being a bestseller, but on my iPad it is showing up as being a bestseller. So I was like, well, if I can use both, I'll use both. Something about me is that I love using multiple primers because I feel like I can address multiple snafus. Now we're just gonna go in with the Milk one. I enjoy both of these primers quite a bit. This time of year is maybe not my favorite time to pull these out just because it is winter in New England and it's very cold and gross out. So for foundation, this one got me together. I was like, what? Okay, so we're gonna switch it to best selling. So on my iPad, it is showing that the Fenty Beauty is number one. I'm fairly confident on my phone it was not number one. It was like number two. But regardless, it is so interesting to me that this foundation is still like one of their top sellers. This came out again 17 or 18 like years ago, years and years. So it's just so interesting to see a different side of the beauty space where folks are not only talking about the new. Rare Beauty is on here as well. Dior, House Labs, Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless. I do have that foundation. I like it quite a bit. The Makeup by Mario, Armani Luminous Silk. I have that one as well. So it's just, I can't get over how interesting it is because it's like if we're watching people current day, I am gonna of course go in with the Fenty Beauty. This is in the shade 120. If we're watching current content creators, they're not talking about this a lot. Like this is a relic from the archives. So it is, to me anyways, it's very interesting. For concealer, I do not have any of the top contenders, but I do have one that's like kind of in the top 10. So let's take a look together. I apologize. I am chronically, like, I'm allergic to the animals in my house. So if my sniffling is annoying, I sincerely apologize. I am trying to be more mindful of it. Okay, here we are. So the NARS Radiant Creamy, I should have seen that coming. That has been like a cult favorite for so long. Rare Beauty, Hourglass, Born This Way, Kosas, Dior, Tower 28, and And then somewhere in the mix, kind of towards the bottom, not towards the bottom, but a little bit further down is the Huda Beauty. I do have that one. I have never tried the Hourglass one, but I would love to. So maybe that's something I'll do this year. So this is the Huda Beauty Faux Filter Luminous Matte Concealer in the shade Yogurt Drop. So 1.5B. I actually got this at the end of 2023. So I haven't used this one yet. So this will be a first impressions. But I've heard really good things. What's so interesting is I swear, I'll see like such positive reviews about something. And so I'm like, oh, perfect, I'll get it. And then as soon as I get it, like no sooner do I put it in my cart and check out, that I suddenly start seeing all these people ragging on it. And I'm like, oh, great. But I try to not let it influence me too much. Because I did see some folks that I know and trust talk about this concealer in a high regard. And typically Huda Beauty products work quite well for me. Not from her Glowish line. I have not tried those, and I probably won't because I have some concerns. And not super surprising plot twist, Huda Beauty is also a top contender in the setting powder category. I saw Patrick Starr up there, Laura Mercier, like all the very like usual suspects. Charlotte Tilbury was up there too with her my gosh, Airbrush Flawless, I want to say. I actually panned that last year, so I don't have that one, but I do have Huda Beauty. And I have mine in the shade Sugar Cookie. She just came out with a peachy one, and I was tempted to try it, but when I looked at it online, it said that it was for medium to deep skin tones. Obviously, I am melanin deficient, so I wasn't confident that that would be something that would work super well for me. Before I finish my my whole face here, I looked up blushes. And I was a little nervous because a lot of the blushes that I have are indie makeup brands. So like I don't have any of the Dior blushes that were on there, but I do have, and I'm not super surprised, the Rare Beauty liquid blush. I have mine in the shade Happy. So I'm going to quickly apply this. Oh my gosh, I'm so glad I remembered. This would be a whole disaster. Speaking of things I just got this at the end of last year, which is like, how am I so behind, you may be asking? I don't know, but I am. This side might have a little bit of difficulty because I powdered. You know, what's so interesting about this is that I have seen 100,000 million reviews about this blush, all of which have said that this is so pigmented that you have to be so careful, because if you don't, like, you can't blend it out. And I'm not getting that. And again, this side I put powder down first, so that could be the problem. I'm also using a sponge. I'm just gonna let's see how that does. Expecting this is actually exactly what I was expecting, with the 1 dot, not 3 dots later. Pretty. Now we're gonna set the face. I did want it to be, I know I look very silly right now, but I wanted it to be a little bit punchy because I'm going to go, I powder my whole face. So I wanted to make sure that it showed up underneath. Okay, so I am organized, and now we're moving on to bronzer. Again, some not so shocking results in terms of Hoola being like right at the top. I'm also not super surprised to see Rare Beauty on this list. Charlotte Tilbury is also on this list, which is admittedly who we will be using today. I am a little bit surprised to see Too Faced on here, just because I actually love Too Faced bronzers, but I don't feel like I see a lot of people talk about them. So that must be more of like a mainstream, like not beauty YouTube purchase. But regardless, we're gonna go in with the Charlotte Tilbury. I have mine in the shade 2 medium, and we're gonna play with her. This is like a super underutilized product in my collection because I have this mentality, and it's not the correct mentality. I am aware of that. But I have this mentality where if I have something that's like super nice and really expensive, that I should save it. For who and for what? Like, where am I going that I'm saving this for? Couldn't tell you. So I need to not kind of be stuck in that mindset. Next, we're going to go ahead and put on some highlighter. For highlighter, there were a couple of options. I had a feeling that the one that I have was going to be pretty high up there, but we'll just go ahead and we'll take a look together. Okay, so the top contenders are, in my opinion, like no surprise at all. Number one is the Rare Beauty highlighter. When these little guys came out, it was all the rage. Everybody and their sister wanted to get their hands on one. Nobody could get their hands on one at one point. I admittedly didn't get mine until I think like halfway through last year. So both versions, honestly, of the Rare Beauty highlighter are on here. The Charlotte Tilbury highlighters, the Anastasia one, that one kind of surprised me because it just came out sometime last year. The Benefit Tickle, Say, Milk Makeup, Makeup by Mario. So I felt like that one I expected, and it lived up to the hype. So we're going to go in with mine. This is in the shade Mesmerize. It's this like beautiful pinky shade. So we're just going to go in. It is beautiful. I will not, absolutely not take that away. It's also one that you can like build up and it can be pretty impactful. I got this little pinky shade because what I have been liking doing is kind of diffusing it into my blush, and then it just kind of looks like I have like a glowy blush instead of like a stripe on my face, which is typically not what I'm going for. Beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. We're gonna go ahead and set our face. So let's take a look real quick at what the setting sprays are. So again, setting sprays also was not a category that super surprised me. I feel like I see people talk nonstop about the Charlotte Tilbury one. The One Size one, I'm honestly a little surprised that that one isn't number one, in the sense that it had been sold out for so long. I got mine by the grace of God. I got one of his holiday sets that was around for, I swear to God, 3 minutes, and then it was sold out. That is the one we'll be using today, but I was a little surprised that with it having been sold out for so long, that it wasn't a little bit higher. All Nighter is not at all surprising to me because that one is like one that actually works in terms of it's not just going to like hydrate your face. It's going to actually help the makeup stay a little longer. So that one does not surprise me. So we're gonna go ahead and go in with the Until Dawn setting spray by One Size. For mascara, I honestly I cannot remember. Again, I looked at all these categories just to make sure that I could do this video. And I cannot remember for the life of me what it said. So let's take a look together. So a lot of these, like, I have not tried. Mascara is not one of those products that I typically buy from a high-end retailer. And if I am buying it from a high-end retailer, it's because it's on sale. So Ilia, Tower 28, that one does not surprise me. I feel like I've heard everyone talk about that one. Lancome, Lash Idole, that's like an oldie but a goodie. And then we have the Too Faced Better Than Sex, which I do have, thankfully. The Benefit Manifest. Let's see. YSL. Benefit Milk. So yeah, I mean, not super surprising. I'm a little bit shocked that there weren't more Benefit options, I think. I think that's a little shocking. Other thing that I do not have is an eyeliner. So I'm going to just go ahead and line my eyes and then I'll apply my mascara and we'll be back to do lips. Okay, so for mascara, I do have the Too Faced Better Than Sex. This is actually their brown one. And I have not used this one. I heard a couple people saying that this formula is improved on the brown. I do think it's pretty. I don't know that it's giving brown. It's a little dark, but it's pretty. I think it looks nice, of course, with the like eye look that we have, because the eye look is very warm. I'm content with it. So for lips, for lip liner and lipstick, I was not so super surprised to see that Rare Beauty was in both of these categories. I felt like when those products launched, there was a lot of like campaigns around them. And then some of the other are like Makeup Forever. I was a little surprised they weren't a little higher up, because I do feel like they have been one of those brands that have stood the test of time in terms of like a quality product. And I feel like sometime in the recent past, they had a lip liner go viral because I think Hailey Bieber or Kylie or one of those girls loved it. But that being said, I have a Rare Beauty lip liner because I was sent it by Influencer. I cannot find it for the life of me. It used to live in my everyday makeup drawer, and now it's like missing in action. So I unfortunately am not going to be able to use it, because I searched this room up and down and I cannot find it anywhere. But I do have one of the Rare Beauty lipsticks to use. I have mine in the shade Fun, so I'm just gonna go ahead and line my lips using not a bestseller, so I do apologize. Okay, so that is everything for this full face of makeup of bestsellers at Sephora. I think our makeup looks good. I'm happy with it. I wasn't surprised by any of these, and I don't think that any of these are undeserving of being one of the bestsellers at Sephora. Honestly, a lot of these products are picks that I too would say are some of the best picks at Sephora. There are, of course, some bestsellers that I don't have in my collection, so it would be helpful and fun for me to know if any of those bestsellers are in your makeup collection and if you think that they are worth it, because I am on the prowl right now for some new goodies to add to my repertoire. But yeah, this is it. I had fun doing this video. I had fun kind of investigating also like what is best selling at Sephora right now in 2024. Let me know down below if you were surprised by any of these picks, if you have any of these. Thank you guys so much for watching today's video. If you enjoyed this video, please go ahead and give it a thumbs up. I would love it so much if you would subscribe to my channel down below. And as always, please stay happy, stay healthy, and stay blessed. And I will see you on the next video. Bye.